Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk. We are broadcasting on-site right now. FABTECH, Atlanta, Georgia. It is a great event. Put this on your calendar. It's a must-attend event. If you're not here this year, be here next year. I don't even know where it is. Where's it going to be, Rob?
Next year? Is it back?
I have no clue. Rob's not helping me out.
It's going to be somewhere.
We're just going to have to jettison that question. Anyway, this platform, the Industrial Talk platform, is dedicated to you industrial professionals all around the world because you are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you're solving problems like Rob's company, and you are making the world a better place. And as you can tell, Rob's in the hot seat. Hirebotics is the company. Let's get a crackin'. Hi, Rob.
How you doing?
I figure I can use your product now. I was telling everybody about it. Anybody that was walking on by, I said, check this out. I programmed a welding, whatever, well, it was just a line.
Welding Cobot. But you're a pro now.
Yeah, I'm a pro. Yeah. It was on your which I got to tell you, man, it's pretty cool. I was telling everybody. There was a young gent, and he's getting his welding certification and all that stuff. And I said, you got to go over to C. You got to go over to C and check out this particular company. And I said, you will be dazzled by it. I did this, and I was telling him what I did.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I was trying to develop some street cred. That's the only
You got
thing.
that cred after like 3 minutes.
After 3 minutes, I said, yeah, I did that. I ran that bead. No, it's a hypothetical bead. All right, for the listeners out there, just try to for them to understand who Rob is. Give us a little background on who you are.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder and CEO of Hirebotics. We do Cobot welding, but what's really unique about how we approach the market is we focus on the welder, not the robot programmer. And so you saw that as being our test subject yesterday as the welder.
And I knocked it out of the park, everybody. I just did. I'm an easy learning guy. No,
it was amazing. Trust us.
Yeah, it was.
But it's all app-based, so it's a connected product. People use an app on an iPad, an iPhone, Android web, and they teach the robot. And so there's no programming at all, nothing on a teach pendant, no complicated robot jargon to deal with. You just point and click.
Yeah, I was pretty dazzled by it, long ago. It was over a year ago. No, it was much longer ago. And when I would weld, I was welding, right? This was just absolutely fascinating technology. What was the genesis behind it? What was the problem you were solving? Why?
Yeah, it's a good question. We, myself and Matt, who started the company, we had purchased Universal Robots at companies that we had worked for in the past. We had familiar with automation, but it's really hard, and it's almost like automation is this protected space by the experts, right? And we kind of want to figure out how to get automation into any company, make it accessible for any company. And so we feel like the easiest way to do that is put the technology in the hands of people that are not automation pros, but in a way that it makes them very comfortable. And so to do that, the way we know how to do that at least is through apps, right? People understand apps, whether you're a grandfather or a 3-year-old kid. And so if we can bring the experience into an app format, right, we can do lots of different things in terms of controlling that experience and make it really easy to use.
And I have to attest that it is. It's approachable. And I think that much of the automation, and I think it's going in that direction, is the pursuit of adoption, easy use, get it up and running, and don't make me jump through hurdles. I've got all these other hurdles I have to go, and I think that's an incredible business model. So when you went down, how long has the company been in business?
Since 2015.
There you go. You've been around.
A little bit.
And you must have seen some really interesting changes, challenges, technology, all of that stuff. Take us through that whole process. You're saying, hey, you're sitting around a table and you're saying, wouldn't it be great to be able to do that?
Yeah, so when we started originally, we weren't doing welding. We were doing all sorts of different applications with cobots.
Oh.
But what we saw over and over again is, we don't come from the welding industry, or at least Matt and myself, but we've hired people on to help with that. But you can go back to the 90s and read statistics from American Welding Society about the shortage of skilled welders. Well, those same problems exist today.
Oh.
So it's like, what's been done to solve it, right? Like everybody's trying to make automation a little easier, but they're just trying the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
And so we thought we had an opportunity to do it a different way, right? To approach it a different way, to really, really make it accessible to welders and not take the traditional approach that people have taken with automation.
Do you find there is a resistance, a pushback? Hey, I'm a skilled welder. I've done this and I've run this speed and I've used this application and I know it and I understand these metal and all of that. There's a pride that goes on with being a welder, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Is there any pushback on this, or?
So not really. What happens over and over again is that we get contacted by companies that cannot find welders, right? So that's where it starts, right? They're not looking like traditional automation. They're not looking at deposition rate, or I need to hit some cycle time to hit some volume commitments for some automotive supplier. They just can't find welders to make production. And so they reach out to us. They see something that looks very, very easy to use. And it's really a way to empower their welders. So it still takes the knowledge of that skilled welder, right? But now they're getting maybe a coworker that's more reliable, and a coworker that shows up every day, and a coworker that lets that welder focus on things that only he can do. The Cobot can't do everything. And so it really allows them to take their skill and put it into the Cobot, right, and get that repeatability and reliability.
So what was interesting, because as a former welder a long time ago, is the ability to say, okay, I've got this tool, this Cobot that is helping me run this bead, but there's also rate.
Yep.
There's also the material that you're using, penetration.
Yep.
There's a lot of science that goes in on that.
Yep.
And is that all part of your solution? It's like, okay, what do you got here? Oh, we've got this stainless steel thing going on here, and this is that, blah, blah, blah. And you put it all in, and it just says, oh, I know what to do.
So I'll say yes and no, right? We don't take anything away from that skilled welder. They know torch angles, they know contact tip to work distance, they know parameters and settings, right? And so we really look at this as a tool to empower them versus a tool to replace what they're doing. So it's not trying to figure stuff out that they can't do, but it's an easy-to-use tool. Think of it like a power drill, right? Like, it still takes that carpenter to put it in, but it's a lot easier and faster than, or that nail gun, right, than doing it by hand.
And I would imagine there's it's a good solution for that sort of, I hate to say it, it exists, that mundane.
For sure.
We've all been there. We're running a bead, we're trying to do it, and it's the same one over and over again, and after a while, there's a numbness that happens. Remove that.
Yep.
Use the skill of the individual to focus in on something else.
Yep.
And then be able to leverage this solution.
For sure. Like that welder does not look forward to doing the repeatable small little trinkets and things like that around the shop.
Doesn't keep them around, that's for sure.
It doesn't, and it doesn't. It's not interesting work.
No,
it's very repetitive and mundane. So it lends itself well to a Cobot. One of the things that we see is that we really focus on making it fast to teach. I mean, you learned it very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Teach something.
And I'm not the sharpest tool in the shop.
No, you are.
No?
Nope.
Okay, I am.
No, I don't want to.
I'm humble. Just ask me.
But the faster you can make it to teach a part, the smaller batch size people can run in production. So if it takes you an hour to program a part, you got to think, I better get hours worth of production to make it worth spending an hour to program it, or a day or whatever. But when you can teach a part in minutes, right? Now you don't need to run for a long time to make it worthwhile. So we see customers running smaller and smaller batch sizes, 20 pieces, 50 pieces, things they wouldn't do with traditional automation.
So where do you see it going? I mean, put your future hat on. Seeing that you've been around for 7 years.
Yep. So
see how I did that math?
That was pretty quick.
Oh yeah, man, I'm like a calculator.
We still feel like Cobot welding is at its infancy. There's still a lot, right? A lot of people still doing things manually. But there's some other applications that we have our sights on. Today we sell the product that you saw, that you experienced in the U.S., Canada, and Australia. And we've got plans to take it to other regions as well. People are looking for easy-to-use solutions. And so, step one.
It was 2 buttons.
It was 2 buttons.
It's 2.
Two
Again,
buttons.
the math isn't hard.
1, 2.
It is. But that's really good. And again, it's only going to get better.
Yep.
It's only going to get more advanced. It's going to only get more helpful and insightful, and just be able to do that. So, with that said, Dr. Rob, somebody's saying, that's cool stuff, man. How do I get a hold of Rob?
Come to us on our website, hirebotics.com. We're on social media, pretty active, LinkedIn, Instagram. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
It is. It's pretty cool technology. Rob, you were fantastic.
Thanks for
I
having me.
love the tech. I love it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to sort of anchor my train to your future. It's bright and sparky. Not just sparky. All right, we're going to have all the contact information out on Industrial Talk for Rob, so don't come to me and say you can't get a hold of him, because it's all out there on Industrial Talk. Again, we're broadcasting from FABTECH. It is a must-attend event. Please put that on your calendar. You will not be disappointed. We're going to wrap it up on the other side. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
How about that conversation at FABTECH? Before I forget, because I said it throughout the whole interview, that is a must-attend event. Really enjoyed it. And you're walking around and you're seeing so many different technologies and the innovation and people and companies that have a real desire to try to make our lives easier and better and stronger and faster and all that stuff. Rob is no exception. Hirebotics is the company, and I got to tell you, if you haven't seen it, there's this technology sprint that I went to his booth and programmed a welding segment, right? And it is. It's just your app, put it here at this angle, and then put it at another. It is really quite fantastic. And as a past welder or recovering welder, because I got to tell you, I enjoyed welding quite a bit. This technology is spectacular. Reach out to Rob. He's got a solution that will blow your mind. All right, building a platform. We want you to be a part of it. We want you to be engaged and be part of the ever-expanding ecosystem of problem solvers. You have a message to tell. You have something of value to give to the marketplace, and don't sell yourself short. Industrial Talk is here for you, and we're here for you because we all need to succeed, no matter what it is, and that comes through education, comes through collaboration, as well as innovation and figuring out how to deploy this technology. All right, be bold, be brave, dare greatly. I say it all the time. You can do that. Hang out with Rob and you'll change the world. Thank you very much for joining. We're going to have another great conversation coming from FABTECH shortly, so stay tuned.